listening?
Yeah.
Cool. So if everyone wants to introduce themselves first.
You start.
All right. My name is Nikhil Parod. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina.
My name's AJ Pandya. Grew up in London, moved to Charlotte when I was 14.
I'm Arifin from Bangladesh. My name's Jerry. I grew up in Chicago.
My name's Sammy, born and raised in Jersey.
Anytime people talk about our culture, I think it's always Bollywood, Indian food, you know what I mean? And that stuff's cool, but to me there's so much more than that. So I'm going to start out by telling you some of the stuff from my life, because I'm asking you guys to be open, so I'm going to be open first. I hate the fact that people on my high school basketball team, black and white kids, would only call me Gandhi. I hate the fact that when my brother and dad were leaving a fast food place, 2 American kids called my dad Al-Qaeda. I hate the fact that as a child, I was too embarrassed to introduce my parents to my American friends because they would make fun of my parents' accent. I hate the fact that when I hear many times Indian girls or Desi girls say, yeah, he's pretty good looking for an Indian guy. I hate the fact that there's a separation even in our communities between Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, Christians, and every other religion. I hate the fact that my best friends of 20 years have never even tried Indian food. I hate the fact that Indian parents complain about racism, and yet they're racist against blacks and people who are different from themselves. I hate the fact that sometimes being different hurts. What do you guys think?
I hated a couple of things too. I have a little short list. I hated the fact that I was, ashamed to be Muslim in my school.
Those insecurities arose from your discrimination you faced in high school when you were younger, right?
Yeah, it was from being that only person that didn't go to catechism or didn't, have a church and didn't have these outside gatherings where the families got together.
I want kids out there to know that there's other people that went through the same things and are going through the same thing. So what I'm going to ask you, Sam, is what do you tell someone in high school that's going through the exact same thing you did?
If you go throughout history, it was always these minorities that built up this country. So you are part and parcel of this country. Don't ever separate yourself from this country. That's first of all. Second of all, you need to have that confidence in yourself that I have a lot to offer these people. See, when you look from the inside and you just see what everybody else has, oh wow, Italians have pasta and they have, this. And no, you have a lot to offer too. If you want to bring your biryani to school and say, look, this is what I have to offer, you're gonna see people with open arms accept this.
Arifin, what do you see the image of Desi Americans here in the United States?
How do I put it without sounding too...
No, seriously, don't be afraid to be honest. No one's going to beat them up, are they?
Maybe.
No, yeah.
I guess probably just the fact
because I'll tell you the truth, we have images of what kids in Bangladesh are, and I can guarantee you they're not going to be correct. You know what I mean?
Cool. Generally, probably that's the impression I got before I came here, that, either you might have like the very studious type, who's like sort of, I guess, with his nose in the books and stuff, whatever. But then on the other hand, you have like the hip hop kids who are sort of, going out partying and, they have like an accent and,
Has your opinion changed since you've been here?
Oh yeah, totally.
Let me ask this question right now. What religion are each of you guys?
Hindu.
Hindu?
Hindu.
Muslim.
Christian.
Muslim.
And are most of your friends the same religion? Does it matter?
Not at all.
Not at all?
I mean,
Why?
Just because I think that the people that I befriend, I'm not befriending for their religious values, I'm befriending them for their values in general. And that's something that, rises above.
What do you say to kids that have the opposite beliefs as you? Like, because I know Desi kids or, American guys are like, I'm only going to hang out with Muslims or Hindus, you know what I mean? What do you say to those kids?
I'd say it's pretty similar to what Sammy was saying before. I think that there's a lot that it's like pasta and biryani, it's completely different, but it still tastes good.
Do any of you guys disagree with your parents in the way of their thinking when it comes to religion? I do. I'll tell you that.
I think my parents are. When we talk about religion, they would prefer like a good Christian over somebody that didn't believe in God whatsoever.
Right. Do you have any thoughts, Jared?
Yeah, well, I think for us it's a little different because...
Us meaning Christian?
Yeah, Christian Indians, because, I don't know, you probably get the response all the time where, like, people are like, oh, so what are you? Are you Hindu or Muslim? Or like, oh, no, I'm Christian. People are like...
You adopted?
What? Wait, I don't get it. But you said you're from India, right? Are you part, like, Spanish or something, No, you,
Come on, guys. I think you're being a little. Do you guys ever get pissed off by like all the ignorance?
Upset about the ignorance?
Yeah.
I always get upset about the ignorance. I mean, I'm always speaking up against it. All my friends know that,
Right.
you know, if I see anything, and when something pops up, you know, I make it clear, like, this, what's happening in Dubai. This annoys me, you know?
Why?
Why? First of all, I don't want to get too in depth, but I mean, just some surface things. They're worried about our national security, but yet it was another country that controlled our ports all these years. You know, the British controlled it. If there's a country in all of Arabia that has adopted American values, it's UAE. So what is America going to do if they say, we're only not going to make this contract with you because of the country of your origin? What is that going to say to the world? What is that going to say to us?
you know, I would say lack of knowledge I don't think is such a big deal. I don't feel like bad, you know, just informing people of things. Like little things like, you know, when I tell people I'm Christian and I'm Indian, you know, that doesn't bother me. And when people they're like, oh, I thought you guys are all Hindu and stuff. That doesn't really bother me. It's like maybe you grew up, you know, where you're not really around a lot of Indians.
If we're not giving them the correct opinion about us, and if we're leaving that to somebody else, then they're going to be misinformed. And that's partly our own fault, and we need to work more on it. But that's why I think what we're doing right now is really important, because you can also, as much as you want to blame everybody else, we have to blame ourselves too. When was the last time we've actually made an effort to go out there and inform people correctly about how we want to be viewed? We haven't. There hasn't really been enough of that. This is a perfect example of a start.
But we also got to kind of have some way of telling, you know, people that probably won't watch MTV This what we think.
You know, like maybe a half-hour show for somebody who already has a lifetime of, you know, misconceived notions, that's not going to do much. But maybe to these people that are actually, you know, the Daisies that actually will look at it, and then they'll implement it in their lives possibly. And then that's what's the key. You know, it's a chain. So if you can tell those Daisy kids that are watching it to just start with themselves and start with the kids around them, I mean, that circle will just get bigger and bigger, and then the circles will start to intersect. Oh, you know a Muslim? I know a Muslim. Oh, you know a Daisy? I know a Daisy. You know, and they're not all like that, you know? And I really do see a lot of positiveness if this can actually get to those people.